विनायक नमो नमः गणपति बप्पा मोरया मंगल मूर्ति मोरया ओम गं गणपते नमो नमः श्री सिद्धि विनायक नमो नमः अष्ट विनायक नमो नमः गणपति बप्पा मोरया मंगल मूर्ति मोरया
Namaste to all of you and welcome to another week's program of Radio Anand with myself, Ashwini Sarran, and Miss Sarran. Welcome, Miss Sarran.
Thank you very much, and namaste and welcome to all listeners and viewers.
Today we have a lot in store for you. Today we will be talking about Ganesh Chandrowtie and also talking about a little about Dharmic Sabha's activities, and to let you be reminded that next week, Sunday, the 29th, is Janamashtami, and a little of Deep Jali. So there is a lot in store for today, and I'm sure Ms. Sarran's presentation will let you be all excited for these events and these upcoming auspicious activities and these auspicious days. And remember to tune in at 11:30 a.m. for that presentation by Miss Sarran.
Jai Dev, Jai Dev, Jai Mangal Murti, Darshan Matre Man Kamana Purti, Jai Dev, Jai Dev. Lambodar Pitambar Phanivar Bandhana, Sarala Sunda Vakra Tunda Trinayana, Dasramatsa Vatpahe Sadana, Sankati Pavave Nirvani Rakshave Survar Vandana, Jai Dev, Jai Dev, Jai Dev, Jai Dev, Jai Mangal Murti, Darshan Matre Man Kamana Purti, Jai Dev, Jai Dev, Jai Dev, Jai Dev, Jai Mangal Murti, Darshan Matre Man Kamana Purti, Jai Dev, Jai Dev. लाल चढ़ायो अच्छा गज मुख को दो दिल लाल बिराजे सुत गौरी हर को हाथ लिए गुड़ लड्डू साई सुरवर को महिमा कहे न जाए लागत हूँ पद को जय देव जय देव जय जय जी गणराज विद्या सुखदाता धन्य तुम्हारो दर्शन मेरा मन रमता जय देव जय देव जय जय जी गणराज विद्या सुखदाता धन्य तुम्हारो दर्शन मेरा मन रमता जय देव जय देव अष्टौ सिद्धि दासी संकट को बैरी विघ्न विनाशन मंगल मूरत अधिकारी कोटि सूरज प्रकाश ऐसी छवि तेरी खंडस्थल मदमस्तक चुले शशि बिहारी जय देव जय देव जय जय जी गणराज विद्या सुखदाता धन्य तुम्हारो दर्शन मेरा मन रमता जय देव जय देव जय जय जी गणराज विद्या सुखदाता धन्य तुम्हारो दर्शन मेरा मन रमता जय देव जय देव.
For those of you who are just tuned in to Radio Anand, welcome, and I do hope that you enjoy. I'm sure you will enjoy today's program of Radio Anand with myself and Ms. Sarran. I would just like to say a huge thank you to our sponsors for today, Ramayan Construction and Sharmila's and Anjali's Food Corner, Food Snacket at Duellam. I will let you know more about them as we go on into the program, but you should check out these persons as they have the best in business and the best in what they do. So today what I just want to say is the next song which we'll be playing will be done by Sunidhi Chauhan, and this was actually sung by one of our very own young persons at the Festival of Arts Kala Utsav. I think it was 2018, the last Kala Utsav we had.
Yes, it was.
I think it's Auntie Monica's daughter.
Yeah, I think her name is Basmati.
Basmati. I don't think she goes by that name, but she sang this song at Kala Utsav and she got the first prize. And she's a really good singer. Her mom is a really good singer too. They're from Hubu.
And they attend the Hubu Satyanarayan Mandir every week on Wednesdays, and both mom and daughter, they sing very well.
Very well. Kalautsav is known as a festival of arts. It's an event which is annually done by the Guyana Hindu Dharmic Sabha. It is one of the events, is one of the functions which many persons look forward to across the country. It has also moved to the States, so it's international as well.
Yeah, the USA branch.
And at this activity, this Kalautsav, we see persons from across the country in Guyana here participating in a number of different disciplines, whether it be singing, male and female, Ramayan chanting, tassa drumming, dancing, folk dancing, classical dancing. It's a really a day which is filled with a lot of variety of religious and cultural aspects of Hinduism. And as such, we see many young people across the country coming to be a part of this program, Kalautsav. This next song is done by Sunidhi Chauhan, which was sung by Basmati. I do hope you all enjoy it as much as we do. By Sunidhi Chauhan. I'm sure you all enjoyed that one thoroughly. As we mentioned before, you will be missing Naya Zamana this year. This is in person, but we do have Nayazamana coming up virtually, and you can see this on the GHDS Facebook page. That's Guyana Hindu Dharmic Sabha's Facebook page. And it's something which, it's a family event which you don't want to miss out. I've had the opportunity of being a part of the Nayazamana team, and it is really a lot of work, to be honest. But it's something which, when you see the end result, it's truly a wow factor when you look at the background, the costumes, the storyline, the actual acting, and the dancing, everything. It's really, really mesmerizing to see what Guyana can produce. So remember Nayazamana, the 28th of August at 8 p.m. and check that out at the Guyana Hindu Dharmic Sabha's Facebook page. Sarran, you have had the opportunity to be sitting in the crowd to look at Nayazamana. What would you like to say to persons who have never seen Nayazamana, especially those who are listening in Florida? Mr. Bharat, welcome, Sitaram, and to all those internationally who've never had the opportunity to see Nayazamana.
Well, let me, the entire year of the Guyana Hindu Dharmic Sabha's calendar, it's packed. But I just want to start from August month, where we have the Naujawan Ka Hafta, which we finished last week. And now Dr. Vindi is choreographing and putting together the Nayazamana, which will be shown live on Facebook next Saturday. Now, Nayazamana, it means new generation. And every year, you will see new faces on this show, because young people are encouraged to come on board and to explore their talent and to demonstrate their skills. And it is not only for young people. When you go to look at this show, sometimes the skit that they portray, and it's live, you actually see yourself in one of those characters, whether it's a family drama, whether it's a social issue, whether it's a portrayal of our scripture. Every bit of that program, something is there for any age group. That's what I like about it. And you know, I missed it really, really bad, because when you're in that auditorium and you're sitting with your peers, and your children are sitting with their peers, and little boys and girls sitting with their peers, you know, when the part that really explain or relate to you, you get that sense of joy in the togetherness. And with the advent of COVID, we're going to get that joy, yes, in our living room. I'm so sorry. So next Saturday, in our living room, very large numbers.
And I think we need to echo the words of encouraging persons to be vaccinated.
That's right, that's right.
I think it's the right choice. This is a personal option, I would say, because really and truly there are many questions we have about COVID-19 and the vaccination process and everything that comes with COVID-19 and the risk and having a right to choose. But when you look at it, there is no cure for COVID. There is none. And the only layer of protection we have is the vaccine. That's one. And two, every single person is at risk. And I think persons need to realize that. Whether you're healthy, you have no underlying conditions, you're fit physically, mentally, everything, you could still be at risk.
Well, with all that said, Ash, you know, each person is responsible for his or her own life, but also they must be concerned for those around you. Meanwhile, the Guyana Hindu Dharmic Sabha, we are unfolding all our programs, but we, at every stage, we are echoing the caution: wear your mask, social distancing, sanitize, and get vaccinated. Because just like you out there, we are eager, very eager to come out there, meet with everyone, you know, and have that dharmic family togetherness. Yes, we are having it online, you know, we meet on Zoom and Google Meet, but it's not enough. We want to get back out there, but you know what? It depends on all of us. When we will determine together, okay, it's not there anymore, and hey, come out, let's join together in this big family of celebration. But for now, stay home.
Indeed, not alone take the vaccine, but you also need to social distance, wear your mask, sanitize your hands, wash your hands at least for 20 seconds as much as possible. Well, one thing you said just now which really resonates with me and a lot of persons, it should also resonate, is that taking a vaccine does not protect you alone, but it also protects persons around you, because you don't know who is really susceptible or who really can contract COVID. You really don't know who can get it. So just be safe. Those of you who are on the road traveling and you're listening to us, do get vaccinated. Do join in with us on August the 28th at 8 p.m. for Naya Samana 23 Zindagi Express.
But I don't want to say 8 p.m. I want to say like from 7 p.m. in the evening, whatever is your favorite snack, and you know you're home now. Make it very hot, but don't eat it out yet. And have it ready. Have your tea, nice tea. Have your nice, whether you use beverage or homemade nutritious juice. Have that prepared. So, 8 p.m. sharp when it starts. And in a 15 minutes, you start to distribute your snack and enjoy with your family.
So remember, 8 p.m., well, Ms. Sarran said before, but August the 28th, check out Gayana Hindu Dharmic Sabha's Facebook page for that virtual live, and you will see the program. Trust me, you will be wowed. You will be mesmerized. And also, you can check out the Ramayan's construction service. They're located at 576 Zilat, East Bank, Essequibo. They do construction of roads, building of bridges, construction of building and maintenance, also weeding and landscaping, and many more construction-wise. If you would like to contact them, you should call 692-7905. That is 692-7905 or 501-4777. That's 501-4777. Also, to Sharmila and Anjali Snacket, they have doubles. Ms. Sarran loves the doubles, which they have
Trinidad
there.
delicacy, but
Trinidad
we're doing
delicacy.
it good here. Yeah, we're doing it pretty okay here.
Sharmila is a very kind and it feels very comfortable to be at her place to get food.
Yes,
It's
it
also
is.
very clean. So they serve every day. You just have to place your order. If you'd like to contact them, do call 277-0656 or 692-0278. That's 277-0656. They're located in Duwillam, Harikusun Public Road. Also, you can call 692-0278. This remaining of a bhajan is done by Shreya Ghoshal. Chaho aur tumhara gunjan hai. Do enjoy. Today is a very special day for everyone in my home. Today is the birth anniversary of my dad, and I'm sure he's listening. I'm very, very sure he's listening. So, Daddy, I would like to say a very, very happy birthday to you. By the way, my dad is one of those persons that look at Dance India Dance, Indian Idol, and the news 24/7, okay? So he's always well informed, and he's always up to date when it comes to these performances and being able to tell you, okay, listen, this is what you're doing wrong and this is what you should do right. We also call him our walking Google. So Daddy, I hope you're enjoying the day. Happy birthday to you. And Miss Sarran is being a bit shy right now, but she also would like to extend happy birthday greetings to you. All the lovey-dovey stuff is for home. Okay. Remember, you can tune in to Facebook Live and listen at 11:30 a.m. We'll have a presentation by Miss Sarran. So do enjoy this other Ganapati Carnatic fusion. This is by Shankar Mahadevan.
Ganapatim manasa smarami Mahaganapatim manasa स्मरामि वसिष्ठवामदेवादिवन्दित महागणपतिम् महादेवसुतं शातं महाकाव्यनाटकादिप्रियं महाकाव्यनाटकादिप्रियं मूषिकवाहनमोदकप्रियं महागणपतिं मनसा स्मरामि वसिष्ठवामदेवादिवन्दित गणपतिं मनसा स्मरामि
ये सलोना रूप तेरा मेरे मंगल मूर्ति, मेरे मंगल मूर्ति, मेरे मंगल मूर्ति। रात दिन आँखों में तेरी जलती निर्मल ज्योति, जलती निर्मल ज्योति, मेरे मंगल मूर्ति। तू अंधेरों को मिटाए, तू सोते भाग जगाए, तू अंधेरों को मिटाए, तू सोते भाग जगाए। तू धरती से अंबर तक सारे बुझते दीप जलाए, जिसके सर पे छाँव तेरी उसकी ये दुनिया, जिसके सर पे छाँव तेरी उसकी ये दुनिया। रुतबा उसका ऊंचा जिसने तेरा नाम लिया। श्रीमंत दगड़ू शेठ घर
are also tuned in, because you would have indicated to me that you are listening. This morning you would have recognized that from the inception of the program, we have been playing bhajans to the feet of Ganapati Bhagwan, or Lord Ganesh. And this is so because on Wednesday the 25th of August, Ganesh Chaturthi will be observed. Now, there are many stories or facts about Ganesh Chaturthi that we can talk about. But this morning, I just want to stick to one aspect of Lord Ganesh and bring to you. And, you know, I did not give you a Hindi word for today. So the word I want to give to you today is parivar, or it means family. And at this hour of the day on a Sunday, I'm thinking, are the family members busy in the kitchen, or have they started lunch? And, you know, if that is happening, then you can have your radio on, or, you know, if you're on Facebook, and you could just listen in. And even a little more, I was wondering if the kids are around, you know, if you could get them to listen, you know, not to read or write, but just listen. Because this morning, what I'm going to present to you is a story, very briefly, on the life of Ganesh Bhagwan. In fact, his birth. And it is very interesting how, you know, sometimes on our birthday, and if our mom and our dad is alive, they will remember that day and tell you the whole story, how you were born. So this is how it goes. Is Ganesh Chaturthi ka din, this is on Wednesday, Ganesh Chaturthi. आज today मैं सभी को बताती हूँ कि गणेश भगवान का जन्म कैसे हुआ. I'm going to relate to you the birth of Bhagwan Ganesh. Zara suniye, please listen. So in this story, Ganesh Bhagwan is narrating how he was born. And that is interesting enough. Ganesh Bhagwan ने कहा, Ganesh Bhagwan said, एक समय की बात है, once upon a time, हिमालय के ऊंचे पर्वत मेरी माँ पार्वती अपने पति के साथ शिवजी रहती थी. On the mountains of the Himalaya, my mother Parvati, and my father Lord Shiva, they lived there. एक दिन मेरी माँ एक लड़के के मूर्ति बनाने के लिए बैठ गई. She sat, and with the help of mitti, earth, she started to make the image of a boy. उन्होंने बड़े ध्यान से मिट्टी को आकर देखकर एक बहुत ही प्यारा सा लड़का बनाया. And after she made this image of this baby boy out of dirt, she went into dhyan, meditation, and she gave life to this boy. Now, I know I'm getting your attention. So this is not a usual birth we're talking about, where, you know, the mom will carry the baby for so many months. This is Ma Parvati using her Shakti, and she created this little boy. उसकी गोल मडोल गालों को देख वो अपनी बनाई हुई गई, इसलिए उन्होंने इसे जीवन देने का फैसला दिया. And when she looked at it, she was so enraptured that she decided, I'm going to give life to this baby boy. और मिट्टी के मूर्ति यानी या मुझ में जान आ गई. And this murti of dirt, or me, Lord Ganesh is saying, I was born. मेरी माँ के हाथ पर मैली हो गई थी. You know, her hands became little dirty, you know. उन्होंने स्नान करने सोचा. And she thought, I should go and have a bath. Now remember, process it very slowly. He was just born. So he is only known to his mother, Mata Parvati. And even so, he was able to speak and move about because of the powers of her. So there they are in their own world. Mata Parvati and Lord Ganesh, they know one another, only the two of them. मेरे पिता शिवा घर से बाहर थे, so he's related. My father, Lord Shiva, he went out. इसीलिए मेरी माँ ने मुझे दरवाजे पर पहरा देने को कहा. So my mother put me at the entrance of the door and she said, you stand here by this door, I'm going to have a bath. किसी भी अजनबी की भीतर आने से रोकने के लिए. So any stranger that comes, you will have to stop him. No one to come in to the home because I'm going to have a bath. Now he's saying, क्योंकि मैं अभी पैदा हुआ था, because I was just born, मैंने शिव को कभी नहीं देखा. I've never seen शिवजी भगवान. मैं बाहर एक लकड़ी के साथ खेलने लग गया. So I stood outside and I had a stick in my hand playing. तभी एक बड़ा सा नीले रंग आदमी में हमारे घर के आने आया. Then in a short while a very big man, very blue in color, came to our home. ना जाने वो कौन था. Not knowing who was that, मैंने जोर से चिल्लाया, रुक जाओ. I said very loudly, stop. उसने कहा, and now he's saying he was my father. He said, तुम्हारी हिम्मत कैसे हुई? How do you have so much courage? मुझे रोकने की? You stopping me? मैं शिवा हूँ. I am Shiva. इसके साथ उसने त्रिशूल उठाया. He took up his त्रिशूल और मेरा सर धरती अलग गया. And he beheaded me. He took off my head. शोर सुनकर मेरी माँ घर से दौड़ कर, hearing a noise outside, my mother came running और चिल्लाया, तुमने मेरी बेटे के साथ किया. And she keeps screaming and saying, what have you done to my son? Now, up to there I want to bring to you. The story would have ended where Lord Ganesh previously had the face of an ordinary human form. And it was this story where he lost that because he was beheaded by his father. Now, there are more details to this story because more people came and they tried to reason with him because they did not know who he was. And the essence of this story is that Lord Ganesh would be, by the powers of Lord Shiva, he was given a new form, and that's what we call Gaja, or that form of the elephant face that we see. And in this program, when you listen to the beginning of the program, we play a very, very beautiful mantra, Vakratunda Mahakaya. Vakratunda, Vakra means curved or twisted. Tunda, it means trunk. Mahakaya, this huge body. So the devotee will recite this prayer, saying, O Lord, we recognize your power. Surya Koti Samaprabha, and we recognize the equal brilliance of Surya Koti, of 10 millions of sun. That is how you radiate that kind of positivity, that kind of knowledge that you give to the world. And the devotee, when his prayer is uttered, it is to give praises to Ganapati Bhagwan in that form. So every day we should pray to Ganapati Bhagwan, but Wednesday, the 25th of August, is Ganesh Chaturthi, and it's very important. On that day, we recognize that we can give praises to Lord Ganesh. Now, lots of questions could be going through your mind when you listen to that story. But in the Shiva Puran, I like the part where Shivji Bhagwan said, Shiva ne kaha कि तुम कौन हो? He said, who are you? जो मुझे नहीं जानते. Whom do you do not know? ना भीतर जाने देते हो. And you are not allowing me to go inside. Now, the approach, in our forest program we talk about approach. Here it is that this is Lord Shiva's own home. And he is being stopped by, at that moment in time, a little boy. And he addressed him, very, very nicely. So we were talking about when we meet strangers, how do we approach them? We look at Hanumanji with Ram and Lakshman, and today we're looking at Lord Shiva and Lord Ganesh. So sometimes life presents situation where, we create obstacles. We create obstacles. We can remove obstacles. And this mantra also talks about nirvigna. Nir is without, vigna, obstacles. We must be without obstacles. Sarvakaryeshu sarvada. All our actions that we are undertaking, we want obstacles to be removed. Now, yes, it's a powerful prayer. And is it that when we say this prayer, we're going to be free? There are going to be no obstacles? No, no, no. It does not work like that. When we offer this prayer to Lord Ganesh, we are seeking divine intervention. We know what we want to say. We know what we are going to say. But very often, what we say is not what we meant. And that is why we seek divine intervention from Shri Ganesh or Lord Ganesh. And every day, when we get up in the morning, we must recognize him. And we must say, oh Lord, today, as we go about our daily duties and as we interact with our peers, with our siblings, with our relatives, with strangers, let us be free from obstacles. And it takes a conversation that does not go in the right way to start generating our own obstacles. So this morning I thought I'll say to you, pray to Lord Ganesh. He will remove obstacles, impediments from your path. But we have to be conscious also what we are saying. Because as much as we believe in the words, and the words are going to work for us, we have to be equally responsible for what we're saying and our actions also. Sarvakaryeshu sarvada. All our actions that we perform. This morning, I do hope that what was said, and if possible, if the children were able to listen, you the parents can relate to them. And we're hoping that the Hindi word we're teaching you this morning, parivar, that if it is possible and family members are sitting together, even for half an hour today, have a conversation. Have a lively conversation. If there are obstacles in your path or the goals and the objectives that you want to realize in life, and you have not been granted permission from your family members, today is a very good day. While you're having your meal together, whatever time, have that conversation. Start the conversation. Maybe it might not be lengthy, but start it. Let it be between family. So the word for today is parivar, family.
Thank you very much, Ms. Sarran. I'm sure those of you who are listening, you are thoroughly enjoying every single moment of that story. Auntie Kemo said, Girija Sutiki Katha Sunaye.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Yes, Auntie Kemo also used to teach Hindi. I'm not sure she still does.
Girija Sutta, the son of Mother Parvati.
One of the things with Hinduism, we have a lot of stories. We do.
Lots of stories relevant for each situation. Similarly, in our lives, sometimes a story occur in our life and somebody give us a nickname. And that is why we also have a lot of names. So Lord Ganesh has a lot of names, but for each name, there is a story that goes with it and the purpose and the fact. And that is why we will recognize him in different aspects.
Indeed. One of the things we were doing yesterday, me and Mommy, we were listening to a interview by Will Smith, and he was saying how he related to the Mahabharata, which was it was very nice to hear a celebrity talking about the Mahabharata in such a different angle, because what he said is that the Mahabharata is the Mahabharata. It really...
He was speaking about the Bhagavad Gita.
The Bhagavad Gita, right.
And his focus, he was so focused on that character called Arjuna.
But what he would really wanted to say, and what he was actually saying, is that what that story shows you is that when you enter this world, when you enter this life, you are entering into a perplexed situation.
Correct.
So you can't run from it. You can't run from challenges, you can't run from difficulties and obstacles and whatever. But what you can do is the right path, and by doing it, you will have died.
Krishna did say in the Bhagavata, aham yajam vada aham aushadam. Every little thing, I am a part, I am in everything. And so if life is a perplexing situation and Lord Krishna is saying, I am in everything, then take the ounce of faith and say, okay, this is a very difficult situation, but Lord Krishna is saying, I'm in everything. So, give yourself time and say, I will see through this. But you just have to build that faith.
And I think that's one of the amazing things I like about our dharma, is that everything that we learn over the years, you can actually still see it coming to play. It is so advanced that you could still put yourself in situation to say like, oh my God, this is still present in today's life. Like one of the things we also looked at is Sita Ma being a single parent, a single mother, and you have that in this time and this world. So even though the stories may seem like with the head being cut off, it may seem a bit, not
out of the box kind of thing.
It really seems
and maybe you're not able to relate because we talk about
Exactly.
special powers.
Because now everybody is very, should I say, realistic and like, listen, how does that make sense? That don't really make sense.
Yeah, but it makes sense because in those days, spiritual powers existed. And this is because they went into dhyan, they went into meditation. This is how our scriptures were revealed from the rishis and munis when they went into meditation, and the word of God came from them.
And it's not really so long ago, actually, because I know Nani would tell us stories from long ago, which again seemed kind of far-fetched for me, but she's witnessed certain things. She experienced certain things which seem unreal, and she said that the same thing that you're saying, that long ago they were so engrossed in religious beliefs and that divine spirituality, and your grandfather, he used to read the Ramayan
and explain
I think
it.
He read with Pandit Reep, or am
yes,
I?
Yes, he
so
was.
it goes way
they
back.
were very much very active on the West Coast, and he was the leader of the Ramayan Goal.
So even though the story may seem, well, it is a story, all of these stories carry really heavy morals. They are really very much applicable. You need to read and read and keep reading. Yesterday, I had the privilege of having Dr. Prasad, the president of our Guyana Hindu Dharmic Sabha, on radio station with me. She was very informative for that entire hour. And one of the things she was encouraging others to do is to read, and not just read like Google something or just read a headline, but actually read things which are
read books,
get sources which are
copies.
authentic. Exactly, like when you want to talk about the vaccine and when you want to talk about COVID-19, go especially to WHO, World Health Organization, that website. Go to CDC, go to the Guyana Ministry of Health Facebook pages for more information, and read the things which are actually factual and not people's opinions of what they think is actually happening. Okay.
So Ashwini brought out that very I would say young people thing where if you recite a story to them, they will start analyze it from all angles, and they will say but what came out of this story is that, I mean, we are doing the analytical part of examining the story. And this is scripture, and we understand it was ordained to happen. But it also shows us that last week when I referred to Raksha Bandhan, and I talk about, sisters and brothers, don't just go and tie Rakhi, and then, the next day, which is today, say, Mom, this is my brother. This is exactly something that happened with Lord Shiva and Ganesh, because Parvati Ma, with her powers, she created this son of hers, and Lord Shiva didn't even know. But I mean, it was supposed to happen because there is a lot more that follows why this occurred. And so when we look at this in a practical way, we're saying, okay, you know what? Plan and discuss your new endeavor. Don't spring surprises. in our real world today. And due to lack of information, everyone who came in contact with Lord Ganesh, because it was not only Lord Shiva, others came. They did not know who he was because no one knew what was happening. They knew Lord Shiva and Mata Parvati lived in the Himalaya, but they didn't know of this son. So information is important to make representation, and correct information we need to look at. But one of the beautiful aspect in this story is that when Mata Parvati said to him, "Do not allow anyone to enter," we see the obedience of this son to the mother. He obeyed her rule, and come what may, nobody was going to enter and go into that. And sometimes our children nowadays will say, "Well, I need to know why, I need to know how, I need to know when," and we give our children that kind of leverage to question us, and I think it's a good thing.
Actually, this I'm cutting you right now, but this is exactly the kind of conversations we have at home. Like,
Yes.
listen, if you're gonna tell me a story, like, be a bit, like you said, analytical. Let me know exactly what's happening. Steve said, "My grandma told me story. It's good to listen and understand our culture." Indeed.
Yes.
This conversation is going really good, but I must leave some things for persons to want to come back and listen to. We could go on and on because, like I said, these are conversations that we have at home on a really regular basis.
And we wanted to start in each home.
Exactly. I think
We
that's
want the
very
conversation
important.
to start, and that is why we're here on a Sunday, close to almost your lunch. We're not taking away your lunch. So parents, boys and girls, mothers, fathers, brothers, sisters, start the conversation.
Right, and I would like to say to our sponsors, Ramayan Construction Service, you can find them at Lot 576 Zilot, East Bank, Essequibo. You can also contact them at 692-7905 or 5014-777. That's 692-7905 or 5014-777. And they do construction of roads, building of bridges, construction of buildings and maintenance of buildings as well. They also do weeding and landscaping. They also look at government lands and city fences, and there's a whole lot of things they're doing, and you should get in contact with them. They're really nice people. I have the privilege of knowing these persons. So Ramayan Construction Service, located at 576 Zilot, East Bank, Essequibo. Remember, you can contact them at 692-7905 or 5014-777. If you'd like to see the advertisement for this business, you can check out my Facebook page, Meeting Masala and Radio Anand, and you will see that flyer there to get more information. Also, a huge thank you to my other sponsor, Sharmila and Anjali Snacket, Double's Corner, where you get that really delicious, scrumptious, finger-licking food served right for you, very hot. It tastes really good. I'm getting hungry right now. They serve every day. Just remember to place your order. They also have a Facebook page. You can check them out at Sharmila and Anjali Snacket. That's on Facebook. You can call them at 277-0656 or 692-0278. That is 277-0656. They're located in Dewillam, the public road by Harkisun. Those who are aware what is Harkisun, you'll know it's right next to that. And you could call them on 277-0656 or 692-0278. They also have taxi and bus service. They are very reliable. They're very fast when it comes to these services. It's very comfortable, very stylish. It's very affordable. Again, it's 277-0656 or 692-0278. Again, if you would like to see more information on these businesses, you can check out my Facebook page, Meeting Masala and Radio Anand on Facebook, to see the ads. You can get the information, the numbers, and more about them. Ramayan Construction and Sharmila's and Anjali's Food Snacking. I must have to say that we are coming to an end of this program. Today, Radio Anand, I had the pleasure of sitting with Miss Sarran to let us hear that very interesting and very mind-boggling story about Lord Ganesha. Ganesh Chaturthi will be celebrated on
Wednesday the 25th.
Wednesday the 25th. It's a spiritual day. It's an auspicious day. It's a very good day to pray and to get involved in divine moments. And one of the things Miss Sarran said to get involved in is conversations. Start having conversations with your family. And I would like to say to Miss Karishma Awad, she's enjoying the program and she's cooking too. Auntie Karishma, what are you cooking? What is you cooking on this Sunday? Is it 7 curry? I don't know. And to my teacher, Dr. Tameshwar Budhu, Ram, sir, I hope you're enjoying the program. And to all those persons who are joined, not on Facebook alone, but on the radio, you're cooking, you're cleaning, I don't know, you're getting prepared for tomorrow, or you are just having a very quiet moment. Thank you so much for tuning in. I do hope you learned a lot today. Today's word was parivar,
family.
which means family. We learned rat or din. Rat means night. Din means day. And we also learned the word for Sunday,
Ravivar.
which is ravivar.
Etwar.
So you not only get scriptures, you get a Hindi word every single week, which you will learn. Miss Sarran is a Hindi, Sanskrit, Ramayan teacher. Miss Sarran is also the West Demerara Prance Secretary of the Guyana Hindu Dharmic Sabha. So you have a lot of titles. I was saying to you this morning, I'm not sure.
I'm also mom.
Mommy, yes. I'm not sure which one I should really establish or talk about, but you have a lot of titles. You're very well versed, very well learned. It's a pleasure to have you with me. And to Kelly, who is here with us, she moved to Canada. I really miss you, Kel. Hi, and thank you for joining. Sir Tamesh, you see he's adding now. He's saying you're also a math teacher. Well, now a retired math teacher. So like I said, your resume, is it? Your list of duties, the things that you choose to do in life is so long.
This is why we need a family to come together, because together so much we can accomplish.
That's so true. That's so true. Because we grew up doing almost everything together. And everybody in the family has a cultural background. I think that's something which I admire about our family. Everybody has a cultural background. Cultural background meaning you can do something or you can say something when it comes to dharma and religion and being a very proud Hindu. To those of you who are listening again, thank you so much for joining. It was a true pleasure. As always, I would like to leave you with the
prayer
from Bhagavad Gita, yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata abhyutanam adharmasya taratmanam srijamyaham, where
Lord Krishna revealed to Arjuna that as long as there is unrighteousness, he's going to come, he's going to manifest himself forth, and he will establish righteousness.
Indeed, and that's something we have really strong faith in, because we have seen in many tough, challenging moments of our personal lives, we always somehow feel a miraculous vibration
or higher power.
Or higher power, that's the correct words. So yes, we do feel that. So do follow scriptures, have riveting, interesting conversations with your family.
Have a happy family
Have
day.
a happy family. Enjoy Ganesh Chandrowtie. And join us next Sunday for Radio Anand at 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. right here on 97.5 FM. Mad is Vion. And we'll talk more about Janamashtami, which is next Sunday.
Pranam, everyone.
Ram Ram.